Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been about a month since I last posted my last video, and that's because I had the baby. Yay! Everything went well in the fact that she was healthy. So in this video I thought I'd share with you my birth story while I get ready for an appointment that I have with my daughter later. And I will talk about what happened, the plans that I had, how the plan didn't go according to plan, everything they don't tell you about, whether it's breastfeeding or postpartum care and healing, and just everything that I feel that nobody really talks to you about or prepares you for. So I just thought it'd be a fun little video, and I'll get to feel a little bit normal since I've been here, the whole time. So I'll be looking at the camera and at my makeup. I still can't think. My mirror. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get started. So I went into labor 31 days ago, and with my first child, I had to be induced because her father was in the military and we weren't married, and he was going to go on deployment. And since we weren't married, they didn't care if I was going to go into labor. So we went to the hospital, and I was already past my due date, and we told them the situation, and they said, well, we can try to induce you. And it did not go well. It was a bit of a nightmare, and I ended up having to get an emergency C-section because of the way they were inducing me. I got a fever, and I got really sick, and the baby started to get a lot of fluid in her lungs, and it was not, a good experience. Let's see if I can multitask here. Okay, so I thought that's what was going to happen the second time around. I thought I was going to go past my due date, which was actually Cinco de Mayo. So that would have been really fun. But we were hoping for a different due date because my niece's birthday is actually Cinco de Mayo. And I just wanted our daughter to have her own birthday. So I started to feel contractions on April 28th. So on Friday. That was a Friday. And they were just kind of, very far apart. And I was just thinking, okay, early contractions. 2 days before I had a doctor's appointment, and they told me I was 2 centimeters apart with 50% effaced. And I was like, okay, 2 centimeters, the baby's not coming anytime soon. So that was Friday, and they were about maybe 30 minutes apart. And then so Saturday at 3 in the morning, I woke up because they were getting pretty painful. And I had watched some YouTube videos, and they suggested that you get in the shower, take a bath, do things that kind of will relax your body. So I jumped in the shower, and my husband was actually supposed to go to work that day, but he woke up and he said, yeah, I'm gonna call in. And I said, yeah, that's a good idea. So that was at 3 in the morning. I was in the shower for a bit, and this video I had watched, I watched videos that talked about breathing. So I was doing this called, I believe it's a deep breath, where you inhale for 5 seconds and you exhale for 6 to 7 seconds. So I had been practicing that for about a month. And I really believe that breathing exercise got me through everything that later came on, what happened in the day. Yes, so then the contractions were 5 to 10 minutes apart, they were getting a lot closer. So around 8 o'clock, we decided maybe we should head to the hospital, you know? And so we got there and they checked me. I was still 2 centimeters, but I was 70% effaced, and they decided that they would, you know, keep me in. And I think I'm wearing the wrong foundation. Okay. So I've been stuck at home, and I've definitely lightened up a little bit. Let's see, what brush do I want? Okay. Let's go with this one right here. Okay. So I was not expecting to be what's up? Not submitted. I was not expecting to stay at the hospital that day. Let's put it that way. Luckily, my daughter was with her father that weekend, so it kind of worked out. So that was around 9 o'clock, and they put us in our room, and yeah, we were just hooked up to the monitor, and I just thought, there's no way, you know, the baby's coming today. Yeah, I just, you know, there's no way. And I had planned to get an epidural because why not, you know? I believe, you know, I don't need to prove a point to anybody. I'm sure our ancestors would have gotten the epidural if they had the chance, so I'm not trying to be a hero. I wanted the epidural. And so the contractions were manageable up until 6 centimeters, and then it's like, holy crap. Because before then, personally, I was able to, it hurt, but there was a bit of a breathing room where you're able to kind of take a breath and get ready for the next one. At 6 centimeters, that was no longer happening. It started to get, you know, pretty painful. So I called, you know, we called our nurse, and I said, give me the epidural. And they checked me. I was 6 centimeters. So they brought in the anesthesiologist, and I got the epidural. Well, I said, how long does it take to kick in? They said around 15 to 30 minutes. I believe that's what they said. Well, and nothing was happening. I could still feel everything. And we're like, what is happening? And we called them back in, and we said, this isn't working. And the only thing that I couldn't feel was my right leg. That was the only thing that was numb. So at that point, I was in a lot of pain. I was, you know, I was kind of sideways on the bed, and I was holding my husband's, I kind of put him over me, and I was holding him like this, and I was shaking, you know, because it was pretty bad. And so I told them, what are other options? And they said, we could try to do the epidural again. And I said, what are the chances that's gonna work? And they can't give you a guarantee. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that again, you know, because now they're even stronger, and you have to be really still. And I said, what's another option? They said, we can give you fentanyl, but it affects the baby. I said, I don't care. I need something. And right when I said that, my water broke. And it was like, it's not like in the movies. For me anyways, it wasn't like a little splash. I mean, I felt like somebody was coming down a freaking water slide. And there's so much water that came out. And my sister-in-law was in the room with me, and at that point my husband goes, you gotta go, sis, you know. I think things are getting real. So at that point I was like, holy crap. And I was like, give me the drugs. And they said, well, let us check you. And they checked me, and they said, sorry mama, this baby's coming. And I was like, oh my god, I'm not ready to have this baby naturally. So one of the nurses put this back. So luckily one of the nurses came up to me, and she grabbed me by the hand, and she said, we got this. You're at the finishing line, you know, you can do this. And I really appreciated that because I was freaking out. For some reason I hadn't thought about giving birth because it scared me so much, but now here it is and there's no way out, and I'm the only one that can get the baby out, you know, so I was really freaked out. And they checked me and they said something like, the baby's too, they went like this. I think that means when they put their fingers to check me, they could feel the baby, like, you know, she's close. And they said, okay, mama, you're gonna have to push. I was like, holy crap. And the nurses were amazing. I mean, they really do all the work, honestly. So they're like, okay, you're gonna push, and you're gonna push through every contraction. So every time one comes, I had to hold my breath for 10 seconds and to push as hard as I could, but I had to push like I was pooping. I think every woman's nightmare is to poop while you're giving birth and to throw up. That didn't happen. I didn't poop, and it's probably because I didn't eat anything. So they started it on my back, and it turns out the baby was a little bit sideways. So they started to try different positions to get the baby to rotate. So they asked me if I had energy to get on all fours, and I said yes. So I was on all fours pushing, and that wasn't working. And they said to get up, I can go sideways. So then they put me on my side with my leg up. Yeah, one leg down, one leg up, and on the stirrup. And they said, you know, we've tried that, and that worked. I was able to get the baby to rotate. And once the baby was rotated, they said, okay, the baby, you know, during that whole time, when I was pushing, the baby was coming out. And my husband and the nurses were, you know, saying, we can see the head, we can see her hair. She has a lot of hair, which we usually tend to have a lot of hair in our family. So that was exciting. And what they don't tell you is that when you're pushing, the nurses have their 2 fingers and they're rubbing around either cream, or they're rubbing something to help with the baby, or they're either doing that to open you up. Nobody told me that, so that was also uncomfortable. You're already pushing, and now there's fingers rubbing on the side, and so I was like, oh, okay, I've never heard that before, you know, so I'm telling you now. And so I was pushing for about 45 minutes, and from what I hear, that's not bad at all. So after 45 minutes, the doctor came in, and I had these really awesome nurses. I mean, they're just fantastic, and my husband was fantastic. I mean, I already loved him, but my love for him went up 1,000%. He was just, you know, really great, really supportive. Was just counting with the nurses and holding my hand, and just a lot of words of affirmations that I was doing a great job. So that was really, really nice. So then the doctor came in, and at that point the room is full. There's all these people there, the 2 nurses, another nurse that helps the doctor, and then these other 2 nurses that are there, I believe, in case something is wrong with the baby. And so the doctor sat down. I pushed 3 times. The doctor told me to hold. I could not hold. That baby was there, and I couldn't hold it anymore, especially because they're telling you to push, and you're pushing. I was pushing for 45 minutes at that point, and now they're telling you to stop pushing. To me, that's very contradictory. So I couldn't hold it, and that baby doctor even had to kind of catch the baby. And so she was born. Our daughter was born Saturday, April 29th. And I just wanted to hear that cry. And I heard it. And I was so thankful because that's what I wanted. My baby to be born. So because I didn't hold it and didn't push according to plan, I got a 3rd-degree tear. So I looked that up. Not fun. And the doctor was down there for about 30 to 40 minutes just, sewing me up. And luckily, I didn't feel the tear because, I don't know, you're already in another kind of pain and you're just focusing on getting the baby out, that I didn't feel that I tore. But after 30 minutes of sewing, I ended up eventually feeling the needle. And that was, it's just a weird feeling to feel a needle. Gives me the chills. So then they put the baby. I got an hour of chest to chest with the baby. And then it was my husband's turn to do it. And so that was great. And then just like that, there's a new baby in the world and you have to take care of it. And it's just wild. It was wild. I was really proud of myself for having for delivering, not even a natural birth, but a lot of people, it's very scary because the hole, you only open up 10 centimeters and the baby's bigger than that, so it's a very wild thing to process. But that's what it's built for, for a baby to come out of there. So looking back, I could have done it. I did do it naturally because the epidural didn't take, so I had a natural birth. And looking back, I could have done it naturally. You just have to get over that hump, but it's very hard to do so because the pain is insane. And when you're in that much pain at 6 centimeters and you have 4 more to go, it's hard to think, oh, I can do this. There's just no way, Some people can, that's, great. Some people can't. Everybody handles pain differently, and, that's okay. And there's no shame. If the epidural would have worked, I would have got the epidural. I just didn't. I really believe that the anesthesiologist took too long to get to me because by the time I got the epidural, I think I was maybe 8 centimeters because everything moves so fast after that. So if I were to do this again, I really don't know. I would get the epidural as early as possible, or maybe have a natural birth, who knows. So then after that, there's a lot of tests. They're testing the baby for their vision, their hearing, the jaundice, and people are coming in and out. You don't really get any sleep. People are coming in every 4 hours to give me medicine for the pain, and so you're not really getting any rest. And let's see. Do my shadow really quickly. Let me push it. Okay. And then they bring in a lactation consultant to help you breastfeed. And breastfeeding, okay. Everybody asks, are you gonna breastfeed? And if you say yes, they go, that's great. And that's the end of that. No one tells you, oh, okay, well, just so you know, the baby sometimes won't latch correctly, and sometimes you won't produce enough milk, and sometimes because you don't produce enough milk, your baby cries, and you're waking up every hour to feed because they're not getting enough, and your nipples are going to feel like they're gonna fall off, and they're gonna crack, and they're gonna bleed. No one tells you any of that, so here to tell you, if you want to breastfeed, that's great. And if you don't, that's great too. And if you want to breastfeed, you better get somebody to help you latch on. And my baby could not latch. She was not latching correctly. She was only getting the nipple part. So we had the baby on a Saturday. We went home that Monday. The next Tuesday, I went to a lactation consultant, and she helped me. And they did such a great job of making me feel like, okay, I got this. Problem solved. I'm gonna get home, and the baby's gonna latch on. That's not what happened. The baby, she went back to latching the other way. And you have to unlatch as many times until they get it right. When you're doing it 30 times in a row, it's going to get very frustrating. So I had a breakdown that night, full on wailing, crying, because you honestly feel like a failure. You see all these women. My sister-in-law, who's amazing, is like this breastfeeding champion. She always made it seem like it was no problem. I'm sure she had problems, but that's what it looked like. And it's just something that you feel that you're meant to do. Like, people that can't have babies feel like crap because it's the one thing you're supposed to do. Breastfeeding's the one thing you're supposed to do. You think it's going to come naturally to you, but that wasn't the case. So I started to pump. I still tried. I tried for 3 weeks. 3 weeks of hell. I was losing my mind. The baby was not getting enough. She was losing weight, So then we had to supplement her with formula. And I made the really tough decision to stop breastfeeding. And, a lot of tears, you're crying, you feel like you failed them. It's just all these things that they don't tell you that you're going to feel like crap. And my husband was very supportive and let me know that, it was okay. And it doesn't mean anything. I'm still a good mom. All the things you want to hear. So that was hard, but thank goodness for formula, right? Can you imagine if that was the only way? I mean, that would be awful. So yes, now let's talk about postpartum care. So since I was a 3rd-degree tear, I had to do certain steps. I had to get a huge pad, put witch hazel pads on them that help with pain. They also have these ice packs, these pads that are ice packs, and those are really cool. You fold them in half, they crunch, you shake it, and then it gets nice and cold. And let me tell you, it feels amazing down there when you've torn. You've not even to be torn. If you go through a regular birth and you didn't tear, I'm sure it feels great. And then there's a special spray. I don't know what it's called. Derma something. They give you a lot of stuff, so that's nice. And there's a spray that you put on your parts, front and back, and then you have to clean yourself with the squirt bottle. You don't want to wipe. So you have to do all that every time, and you're bleeding. And then you have to go number 2. I was taking stool softeners morning at nighttime, and nothing was happening. I could not go to the bathroom for 4 days, and I could feel it. I was walking like I just gave birth the day before, but it was just because I was so uncomfortable because I couldn't go to the bathroom. I had my doctor's appointment I had the baby Saturday. I saw my doctor that Friday, and he suggested I take laxatives as well to help the process. So I did, and even with that, it was really hard to go to the restroom. And on Mother's Day, it was a great Mother's Day, I was in the restroom for an hour trying to go to the bathroom. It was so bad. I was wishing I was giving birth again. I was shaking, it was painful, I was almost in tears. And finally, I was able to release. But no one tells you about that. And then you're afraid. I was personally afraid to release because I'm stitched up. And your fear is, am I going to tear the stitches, you know? But I guess that's not a thing. But it doesn't matter, you know? You can't tell. You can't change your mind about that. Oh, God. So yes, that was not fun. It's getting better. I'm still taking stool softeners and the laxative, and I'm just thinking, when are we gonna get back? When am I gonna get back to normal and be able to go to the bathroom without having to have help in that way, you know? And then when you're done breastfeeding, no one tells you to wean off of it, right? I did it cold turkey, so then I got an infection. I got mastitis, and that was horrible. And then I had to get antibiotics, and I have to massage through the pain, and you have to pump through the pain to get everything out, because it's, you know, then you get an excuse me, if you don't do all those steps, then you get an abscess, and that's not good. So I'm waiting to feel back to normal. I'm still on antibiotics for my mastitis, and I'm still waiting to go to the bathroom normally, and you know, all that stuff. So it's a lot. And then you're home all day long, and we live in a hot climate, so I can't even go outside and take a walk in the afternoon because it's 100 degrees. So either I have to go really early in the morning, wake my baby up, or you have to go at night, and I don't like to go at night. So, you know, you lose your mind, you start to go a little bit crazy, and it can be really hard. I feel pretty normal during the day, but at some point every day, I feel this feeling of overwhelmness, and I have to shake it off. And I know it's hormones and being here every day, routine, having the same routine, doing the same thing every day over and over again. It gets a little bit crazy. And if you have other kids, then you feel guilty because you're so tired and you're trying to give them the same attention that you're giving your newborn. But you can't. I don't think you can. And so every night what I've been doing is I've been saying what I'm thankful for. So I'm reminded about how lucky I am to have a job that can afford me, for me to be here for longer than the 3 months, and my husband as well, and my daughters are healthy, and we have a home that has AC, and we have a backyard and a front yard, and we can go to get some food if we're feeling crazy, because we have jobs that can afford us to do that. And my family lives in town, so if I need help, I can call them. And I'm telling myself that this will pass, but not that I'm trying to rush anything, because I'm not. I'm really trying to make up for the birth experience that I didn't have with my daughter, because when she was born, the military only gave her dad 2 weeks to be here. So after 2 weeks, he was gone, and I was by myself for 3 months until he got discharged from the military, until his 4 years were over. So I'm trying to be thankful that this time around my husband is here and he's being amazing. And I think you just have to remind yourself about little things like that. At the same time, it doesn't take away from whatever that you're feeling, whether overwhelmed or stressed out, or depressed. Just if you're feeling any of those things and you're getting overwhelmed, please reach out to friends, to family. If you don't have friends or family, I know there's hotlines. You can call your hospital, and they have support groups. it's real. Everything that you're feeling is real. It's a lot. When my daughter was born, I didn't cry because I don't feel like I was just, there's too much going on. I didn't have time to cry. I cried on Monday when I was home when we were home. I looked at her and I just cried. I was so thankful for her. I'm gonna do my eyebrows. See if I can multitask doing this part. And then you never know the type of baby that you're gonna have, right? Is a baby gonna be calm? Is a baby gonna be crying all the time? You know, you just don't know. And you can easily lose your bloody mind, you know? And what I suggest, if you're about to lose your mind, you put that baby down and you walk away. It's better to walk away for a minute than, shake your baby because you're losing your mind. So yeah, eventually my husband will have to go to work and I will be here with the baby, and that's going to be tough. Sometimes I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for that. So just a lot of feelings, and they're all normal. But now my baby is she turned a month yesterday, so I mean it goes by really quickly. And yeah, everything freaks you out. Any noise that they make, any sounds, when they go to the bathroom, is this color normal? Is this normal? I mean, you're just freaking out every second of every day. Yesterday was the best sleep we've had. She slept for 4 hours, woke up 8, was up for 2 hours, and then went back to sleep another 3 hours. So that was great. We're, hoping that continues. Actually, we're hoping for sleeping all night, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. And that's okay, because eventually they will sleep. And eventually they will grow up. And, yeah. My other daughter's 10. Eventually she will be 10. And time really flies. So, try to live in the moment. And I definitely tell myself that because I don't want to rush anything. Eventually they're gonna leave. They're gonna live their own life, and we're gonna have his memories, right? I'm sure my eyebrows are a total mess because I have not done them or my makeup since I gave birth. The first time around when I had a C-section, the healing part was it took forever. I think it took about a month for me to really to be able to walk normally again, and having this birth naturally, I'm already walking around and I'm feeling a lot better and a little bit back to normal. So that's the upside to that. I don't know if they look normal. I can't tell. So yeah, that was my birth story. And so now we're all, tired and sleep deprived, and it's okay. This too shall pass, as they say it. We've been able to, go to restaurants a couple of times. We've been to about 3 restaurants. You just gotta time it, Okay, they napped, put them in the car, go, go, go. And then you hope that they're asleep the whole time. And then as soon as they start moving, get the check, And then you come back home. first drink, I think, recently. And let me tell you, I had 2 sips and I was already feeling buzzed because I've been drinking 10 months now. But it was good. I know a lot of people that they don't go out when the baby is born, but I really suggest that you try to, so you can feel a little bit normal and you're able to kind of reset and just you're able to face the day a little bit better because you're able to feel some sense of normalcy. Because when it's just the baby all the time, it gets really overwhelming. But at least if you went to go get a bite to eat, or you took, you walked around the park or around your block, you really do feel a lot better. And TV will be your best friend. We have watched so much TV, and that's what's kept us, it's what's kept us alive. And coffee. Lots of coffee. I'm no longer out of breath, which is, fantastic. And I'm able to eat whatever I want, which is great. And this is why people just put on weight afterwards, because you're eating everything you couldn't eat. I'm not thinking about trying to get back to my body anytime soon. I've accepted the fact that I will probably gain weight, and that's okay. And once I'm ready, I can go back to working out. Your body definitely changes. It's different. This is my second baby. I already got stretch marks the first time around, and I didn't get any this time. I was putting on oil like a crazy person. This special oil. I put it on twice a day, in the morning and at night, like crazy. So I didn't get any new stretch marks, but I already had stretch marks, so I wasn't worried about that. Some people get stretch marks, some people don't. My mother had 4 kids and no stretch marks, and she would brush. She would scratch her stomach with a brush. That's how itchy she would get, and no stretch marks. Me, 1 baby, stretch marks. So it's all okay. I found one of my favorite lipsticks is from Mineral